how to put my headphones in. Hi, guys. All right. Let's see if I can get all this to work. I just have to make sure that y'all can hear me. And since nobody's on yet, I'm going to do it myself. Okay, you can hear me. My daughter's TV in the background. Let me just turn it down real quick. So, I'm just going to pop on here real quick. This is going to be super fast. I just wanted to do like an overview. We have so many questions. I talked about how the question that we always get after everyone's first adjustment, after they get up, they're always like, that's it? Did you do anything? So that's a very common response after they've received their first adjustment in our office. So it is very gentle, and I wanted to explain what that is and why it works the way that it does. So first off, what I wanted to start with is helping you to understand that the body works as a whole. It does not, like one process cannot happen without impacting another. So let me give you an example. And this is why this correlates with stress and why understanding what's going on with your body when you're stressed is so important. So let's say your brain perceives that you're stressed. You think that you're stressed. What's going to happen is your body's going to respond. Your heart rate's going to speed up. Your blood pressure is going to rise. Your digestive system isn't going to work like it should. Your reproductive system isn't going to work like it should. The reason being is because when your brain believes that it's stressed, it's correlated to, it doesn't know the difference between stress and danger. So your brain just instantly thinks, I'm in danger. So it responds like you're in danger. This is a protective mechanism. Our body is awesome in that it does the things that it has to do to protect us, to keep us alive. So the system works as a whole. It has a hierarchy of needs, and its most important job is to keep you alive. And the system that does this is the nervous system. So as I said, when you perceive that you are stressed, your brain is what perceives that information. It receives the information from your senses, and when it gets that information, it will send the signals down the spinal cord, out the nerves. And that is your nervous system. That's the job of it. It controls every cell, every organ, every tissue. And if you've been with me for longer than a week, you know that I really harp on this, that the nervous system controls everything, all of those things. So most people just think it controls our muscles. That's the most common thing that it gets associated with. But what's great is that it also controls our emotions. It controls how we receive the information coming in from our environment, and it also controls how we respond to it. So one of the big things that I like to give examples of is, you know how you can feel the air hit your skin. Like that's such a small thing hitting your skin, but you can feel it. Or even more sensitive, you know how you can like feel when somebody's staring at you. All of those things are your nervous system processing that information. So it is so sensitive. There's things that we don't even notice, but our brain does. So it goes unnoticed by our conscious brain, and we are not aware of it. So I like to say sub-awareness. One of my mentors brought it to my attention that it's not below your consciousness, because you will know. Your brain knows everything that's going on. You just aren't aware of it. So I thought that was pretty nice. So let's go to what causes stress. So what causes stress within your body? So in chiropractic, we like to call it the 3 T's: toxins, traumas, and thoughts. But let's go a little bit deeper into that. So toxins would be chemicals. So that's the food we eat, the stuff that's in our water, the stuff that's in the air that we breathe. It even is the stuff on the lotion, the chemicals in the lotion that we put on our skin, the fragrances that we breathe in. So if we have like perfumes, And I know in the gut brain workshop, if you've ever been to that, we talk about the fake estrogens that are located inside of a lot of fragrances, a lot of like Bath and Body, crazy amounts of fragrances that can be estrogen disruptors. They can be hormone disruptors. So that is a chemical trauma per se. It is a stress, a chemical stress on the body. So then we have physiological or psychological, so mental, emotional stresses. So that's like when you, my daughter is here. So when you have like a job stress or just a life stress in general, you're going through a hard time in your relationship, or you're going through a new relationship, you're starting a new diet, all of these things, they all come with the mental, the emotional stress per se. They are, it's a little bit harder on your body, harder for you to process. It's not a well-learned thing. Then you have physical. And this is the thing where most people think of like car accidents, slips, falls, work accidents, and that's what most people go to a chiropractor for. However, what we don't realize, what is very, it's a misconception, is that the physical aspect of our body is also impacted by our emotions and by the chemicals that we put in our body. So I just want you to envision a time when you've been stressed or angry, and women, we tend to carry it in our shoulders. And so that's one of the biggest complaints is, oh my gosh, my shoulders hurt. And so think of it, when you get stressed, where do your shoulders go? Towards your ears. When you're texting, where does your head go? Down, right? Here. These are all, yeah, that's your head. These are all stressors that can happen on the body. But what people don't recognize is that the physical or the psychological and chemical things that they put into their body also affect their physical body. So these traumas, they and these stressors, they affect the body, and the brain believes that the body is in danger. And that's really, really important. And so this amount of tension, it gets stored in the body, and it creates these tension patterns. So I just want you to envision, have you ever seen that older person that kind of has that little hump right here or is really bent over? And they might not even be older, but that's a tension pattern that has developed through life. Those are tension patterns. And so those come from, like I said, our thoughts and emotions and chemicals that we put into our body, and how we physically, the physical patterns that we put our body through. So right now, the big one is the text neck. That's the best physical pattern that I can tell you. But all of these things create tension patterns within our brain and body. And so that, when you come into our office, that's what we're looking at when we're testing your ankles, when we're pushing your legs apart and together, when you're laying down on the table. These are all things that we are looking for to see the tension patterns that you have developed throughout your life. Now, it's important to understand that stress is exactly like your brain thinking you're in danger. So these tension patterns that you have developed, yes, they're to keep you safe. However, when you no longer need them, they're still there, and they can be causing some of the some issues in life. So in some emotional responses, you might not be as emotionally regulated as you used to. You may not remember things or be able to learn things like you used to. These are all patterns that we look at that are in your daily life, but that also show up in your body, believe it or not. It's crazy. So what we're doing, because our contacts are super gentle, so what we're doing, the main focus is getting your brain and your body talking again. Because there becomes this disconnect. We start to get into these patterns, and we lose strategies, and we lose the ability to adapt. So that means, just in a physical example, we lose strength in our muscles, and so it's harder for us to sit upright. Or when we do try to sit upright, we feel weak and it hurts. It starts to, we're not able to do it. That's just one example. The same thing can happen with our emotional thoughts, and with gut brain, the same thing. You can't digest your food properly because, again, your brain thinks you're in danger. So why would it want to digest food, right? Why would it be important for you to reproduce when your brain believes that you're in danger. These are just things that I want you to start thinking about. Now, what we're doing is we're giving your brain kind of a gentle wake-up call. Most of the time, you don't even recognize. Your brain doesn't even recognize where it's at. So we're just saying, hey, look here. And your brain may not even recognize that it has this pattern going on, that it has this tension pattern. And we're just showing it, hey, this is here. And through repetition, through multiple adjustments, as the adjustments go on, your brain starts to recognize that. It starts to recognize those tension patterns, and it starts to become more aware. That's how you develop strategies to start to adapt so that your brain no longer believes you're in danger. And so when your brain no longer believes you're in danger, your heart rate can be more consistently regulated. Your digestive system can be more consistently regulated. Your reproductive system, you get what I'm saying? When your body and your brain, your nervous system does not believe you're in danger, you start to heal, because there's two sides, and I talk about this all the time. There's the sympathetic side, that's the fight, flight, freeze, that's when your brain believes you're in danger. And then there's the rest, digest, heal, when your brain believes it's safe. So if you're constantly stuck in this fight, flight, freeze, your digestive system is going to take a back seat. Your reproductive system is going to take a back seat. Your immune system is going to take a back seat. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there are things that are going to take a back seat because your brain's number one job, and we talked about this at the beginning, is to keep you alive. And so if it's using too much energy to digest your food, it's not going to be important on the list if your brain believes you're running from a tiger, even if it's just your boss upset you that day. So I hope that this answered some of those big questions, especially the big question of, you barely did anything. How is this possible that this is what comes from it? Because most people come to us starting with pain, and what they find first is they're more emotionally regulated, they're calmer, they respond differently to things that would have triggered them in the beginning or before care. And that is one of the bigger things that we're looking at. We're not looking at getting you out of pain, because pain is the last thing to show up and the first thing to leave when your body feels safe. It's the first thing to leave when your body feels safe. And so I hope that this was able to answer some of those questions, to answer your concerns of the gentleness of what we're doing. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. It's a simple little text, and it's free to talk to us. It's free for consultation. So that's always a setup. And we do these talks for businesses. We bring lunches. So this is a pretty common thing that we do. So we take lunches to people. We take lunches to businesses in the area, or groups, or personal trainers. We've done Sooner Care, or Sooner Start. So we've done these, and it's really fun for us. So if you feel like this is important and beneficial, just let us know, and we'd love to come do this for your business or your group. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.